So what did we build along the way? Well, when we started off the journey, we had a self-evaluation questionnaire, we had a classroom observation sheet, which some of you will see this afternoon, we had a code of conduct, we had a meeting notes record sheet, and we had a set of criteria over 4 domains and a number of subdomains that said this is what we should look for in an excellent school, in an extraordinary school. This is what we want to be measuring. But we've built things along the way in each process, and I think one of the wonderful things of being in this journey from the first one to the 6th one has been seeing how we've developed things as we've needed them. And there's still more development to be done between now and the end of November before we go into phase 2. So we've designed a lesson plan for the pre-review training session. This was co-authored with Alison at the very beginning, and we've modified it a little bit for today's purpose. So we now have a lesson plan for how we do that training with the team. We also have a template that has been designed that helps us to do the scheduling, so that when everyone gets into the room on the day 1 or pre-day 1, that they know where they're going, who they're seeing, what they're seeing. It's a very dynamic, constantly changing schedule, but it's a schedule that we can nonetheless use across any multitude of reviews in the future. We have created a template for individual recording of evidence, and we'll talk through that a little bit with those of you who haven't been through the process later this afternoon, but a way of you individually reflecting in an evidence-based language on what you've seen. And so that template has been something that we've designed out of the criteria. We've also, in the process of doing the reviews, each time refined the process, the model for how we debrief, how we do check-ins, how we calibrate one another throughout the day and a half, to give the process full integrity, to make sure that we're all on the same page, and that model over each of the reviews has become much more critical in terms of being able to make sure that we're getting the right feedback and the right reflections, and we're not just dipsticking and just seeing surface. So it's been a good iterative process in that sense, because we've developed as we've gone along. And I think very importantly, we've developed a process model for peer support. So in the way in which we've designed the process over the 6 reviews is that we started off initially with a team lead and then reviewers. Now we have a team lead and a thought partner to that team lead, which is very critical. And we go into classroom observations and we do a group observation and video calibration together, and an in-classroom calibration together, and then there are paired observations in the first couple of observations, so that you're again on the same page. There's a peer support system in place to make sure that you're feeling comfortable with what you're doing as a reviewer. And so those have become very important parts of the review process going forward, and will need to continue to be explored and built on as we go into the next stages. So I just want to go backwards before I talk about precise praise and areas for improvement. But any of you who've been through any of the coalition activities, in fact, but very significantly the peer review process, will know that we talk about 3 different types of language when we're giving feedback. One is precise praise, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's precise and it's praise. So it's constructive, positive feedback that's exact about what we've done, what we've learned. We also talk about quick hits or areas for improvement, which is things that you need to work on to just make that small change upwards to improve the school performance. And we talk about big rocks. These are things that are in your way and are really big stumbling blocks, and you're not going to get to the next level unless you deal with that big rock constructively. And so in my thinking through the 6 reviews, I've tried to identify, and this is my thought and process, what is the precise praise for the peer review process, what are the areas for improvement, and what are some of the big rocks. And this is from a view from the outside, not being in a school, but looking at the process. And I just want to share some of them with you, because I think they're critical for going forward. So the first lot of precise praise, and these aren't per school, so I've just looked at the process overall, is that the peer review provides an opportunity for open, honest reflection, which is constructively given to schools, where we're using peer review as an objective reflection of classroom practice. And that's what it is, and it's been constructive. That there have been real connections and tremendous trust that have been built between team members during the review. And that's laid a solid foundation for effective teams. In 4 out of 6 reviews, we provided a host team with team bios. So something that we learned from the first 2 reviews is that we come into your classrooms, and if you don't know what we look like, and we're strangers to you. So now we provide a team bio before we come into the school to say, this is who we are, this is who we're coming into. In 3 out of 6 of the reviews, we actually introduced the team to the whole school as part of the celebration of being in that school. And in 1 of the 6 reviews, we were actually introduced very specifically to the staff in a staff meeting, person by person, so that familiarity was built from up front. And those are positives to take out of the process. So what of those do we do going forward?